Good afternoon, sports fans. It's your friendly neighborhood Paul here, bringing you the next episode of Nostalgia on the Rocks, where myself and my lovely co-hosts sit down and talk about the games of old, the games of new, and everything in between. And of course, I am joined by my partner in crime, the Tetris Camp Counselor, probably Oliver. How you doing, my man?
I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but it's coming home. It is currently on its way home. It is coming home. Football is coming home. It's coming home.
Notice he said coming home. It's not there.
It's
they
not
haven't
home
won
yet.
it yet.
But it's coming home. It's coming
like
home.
They're like the Dallas Cowboys in that way. It's like every year is their year. But this year they actually have a good run at it. What are you guys at right now?
We're in the finals.
Yeah, you're in the finals. So who are you playing?
Italy.
Italy.
And Italy they're a bunch of tough bastards.
They're in the finals, so I would imagine.
I'm not a big football guy. I quite like a tournament, and so like I always get caught up in like World Cup or the Euros and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of rumblings that if it does come home and we beat Italy, we're gonna get an extra bank holiday. And so now I'm fully invested. I'm fully invested now. It's
yeah, you guys get an extra bank holiday. All the COVID bans are gonna get lifted. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, that was supposed to happen. When was that again?
Well, initially, when the Rona started, I got sent home and got told I'll be working from home for 2 weeks. It has now been 17 months. No, 16.
16 months into your 2 weeks at working at home. My, how time flies.
Yeah.
And then, of course, speaking of working from home, the woman who seems to never actually stop working, who until about 6 months ago, I'll say, probably a little earlier than that, but I'll say 6 months because it sounds better, I was convinced was simply an AI patrolling Twitch. That is, of course, the Sword Maiden herself, Avenged. How are you doing, my dear?
Hello. I am well. Doing quite good today. A little bit tired, but
a little Avenged. I would say shocking, but that would also, you saying you're tired is like saying the grass is green, the sky is blue, and the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It's the way of things. It is nature.
It's very true. Yeah, it's just a personality trait at this point. So.
Oh, I do appreciate it. You took a half day for this, which just Oliver, we got to talk about the power that we have where we're making people take time off of work to come sit and bullshit with us about games and have a drink.
I'm into it. It makes me feel good. And as well, like let's not forget that today isn't just any episode. It's our first milestone episode.
Yep.
Episode 10.
We are in double digits. 10. We have managed to keep this streak alive for 10 episodes, which translates to 20 weeks. We've been doing this, putting out episodes on YouTube. 20 weeks, and we have yet to fuck it up. Knock on wood. Next episode, everything burns. Everything catches fire. Yeah. We regret to inform you that Nostalgia on the Rocks is on a bit of a hiatus. Paul jinxed it. That's all it's going to be. But speaking of having a drink, we are going to start off, as always, probably Oliver. What is in your glass today, good sir?
I got something a bit special today because normally I have a beer or like a glass of tequila. So I had a glass of brandy once, but I thought I'd mix it up, and I've gone the cocktail route today.
Ooh.
So we've got I've just a standard Cuban, but using some Dead Man's Fingers rum, which is a very nice spiced rum and cheap as well, not expensive.
Dead Man's Fingers rum.
Dead Man's Fingers.
That is a fucking name if I've ever heard one.
Look at that. Look at that skull.
Stirred, not shaken. Gotcha.
Pretty fucking cool. But because I'm a very classy British man, I don't have any like proper cocktail glasses. So we're drinking said cocktail out of a pint glass today. Because
send it.
It's gotta be done.
Perfect.
Gotta be done.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then Avenged. I know it is what we will classify is slightly too early. Oh my god, what is this, product placement? What is Hellsman Gaming talking to you?
No, definitely not. There's no one in my ear right now.
There's no one telling you that Sneak is great. The flavors are so wonderful. I like to drink mine over ice.
Yeah, no, it's actually just flavored water. No
Ah,
Sneak, no nothing. We're just going water today.
fair enough, fair enough. And Avenged, I should have said this at the top. I do want to thank you so much for coming in here such short notice. We were gonna have Rumble Pack on, but he said he had to relace his shoes today, and that's why he was unable to make it. Which, you know, sooner or later we're gonna find time for him to get on when he's not doing some mundane task that he deems more important.
Yeah.
He's got so many shoes.
He's got all three. What's weird is though he said he had to relace his shoes, but all the shoes I've seen are either like boots that don't have laces or the slip-on Vans. So I'm not sure what shoes that he actually owned that require laces, but I'm sure he's got other pairs I'm just not aware of. But it's it's fine. It's fine. Fine.
Yeah.
But regardless, I do once again want to thank you for stopping by. And today, I have what can only be described as a fucking meme. It is the NTO drink of choice, I'm pretty sure is what it is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Screwball peanut butter fucking whiskey. Let me hold the glass properly. Or bottle properly. So, yeah, fucking too sweet. I saw this, right? You know what the bad thing was? I was walking down the whiskey aisle. I bought a bottle of scotch. I bought a Glenlivet 12. I was going to bring that on. It was going to be a lovely drink. It was going to be a lovely time. As I am standing in line to check out, a guy about two people ahead of me who was currently getting, who was currently paying for his stuff. The person at the counter says, peanut butter whiskey? Ugh, that can't be good. And I was like, hold the fuck on. Hold up. I immediately got out of line, which, by the way, there was like 6 other people behind me. Got out of line, went to the alcohol aisle again, and sure as shit, two wide and about 4 deep, Screwball whiskey. And I was like, here it is. Whoop, 2 bottles. Because I have not been able to find this. Because for everybody, though I am an American, I'm currently living in the UK. So getting this is near fucking impossible unless it was on base. So now we can get screwed and see if Robert Highwind is in fact as fake as he is, or if there's at least one sliver of realness in his personality.
Speaking of the NTO, quickly, like just
let's go for it.
Wednesday, this past Wednesday was the 25th anniversary of the formation of the NWO.
Jesus.
The 25th anniversary of
you
Hulk Hogan being the third man.
You feel old yet? There's certain things that are like coming into fruition that are like, oh god, we're getting old. I saw some TikTok that was like, hey, do you like classic rock like Aerosmith and that kind of stuff? Like, yeah. It's like, oh, what about like Def Leppard and stuff like that? I mean, yeah. What about I don't know, Breaking Benjamin or like Metallica and all this? Like, well, I don't know. Those bands are over 20 years old. And it's like, or close to 30 years old. It's like, oh no. Oh no. I saw a Day to Remember posted photos from 2011's Warped Tour, which is the one I was at in St. Louis. And it clicked in my head that was a decade ago. It was a decade ago. And I'm like, just Matt Damon and Saving Private Ryan just slowly aging right before my eyes. But that's why we don't talk about that. But ladies and gentlemen, what we will do is raise a glass to you guys as an appreciation for you guys stopping by. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. Cheers.
Right. I need to know, is Robert Highwind full of shit? Is Robert Highwind full of shit?
God damn, that's good.
Oh,
God damn. I hate how good this is. That is Because I had like a peanut butter rum that I found over here. Because I looked up like peanut butter whiskey and I couldn't find it, but then peanut butter rum showed up because it was Amazon. And I was like, oh, let me try this, and it was okay. It was all right, but it definitely had a big alcohol aftertaste. This does not have that. What the fuck is the alcohol percentage on this? It's 70 proof. It is 35% out. So this does have a fair amount of alcohol. This isn't like Malibu. God damn. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, what is peanut butter without a little bit of jelly? AKA some strawberry Bud Light hard seltzer.
Nice.
We're gonna have ourselves a little peanut butter and jelly.
I thought you were just gonna straight up stick some jam in that bag.
Right.
No, no. Look, I am what's classified as a crazy person, but I am not that crazy of a person. And this glass I really love, because it's got a bunch of like weird little like frilly, twisty, curly, twirly things. It is a Di Serono glass, but it's close enough. Yep, that's dangerous. I did the typical white guy thing. Oh, that's dangerous. Get that away from me. Oh goodness. But enough about what we're drinking. What are we playing? And normally I kick it over to ProbablyOliver, but I actually want to kick it over to Avenged. My dear, what have you been playing recently?
Definitely not been addicted to Knockout City. Not at all. Definitely not addicted to building factories with one Billy the Door in Satisfactory. And, my obvious obsession of over 2K hours in The Sims 4.
It's good to know that someone out there is still playing Knockout City. It's good to know that I mean, like, is there like how is Knockout City doing now? Like, it's been what, just over a month since, or maybe even like 6 weeks or so. Yeah, about 6 weeks since it came out. Is it still? Are you waiting like minutes at a time to get into a match at this point?
No, only on like certain game types.
Right.
Does that happen? But no, you get into matches really quick.
I mean, that's good because I kind of want to jump back into it, but I'm also like hesitant to try to jump back into it.
Oh no, you should definitely jump back into it, especially with the tournament coming up.
Oh yeah. I totally remember to sign up for that.
Yeah.
Totally signed up.
You still have time.
That. Yeah, there's an NTO tournament. And I definitely put my timetable, like my preferred times in, and totally forgot that I was like, oh yeah, I need to actually like sign up because we're doing random teams, right?
Yes, random teams.
Yeah, so the teams are random, so that way we can't, create the dominant team, which I'm just saying would be the three of us. Would probably be the three of us here. Because I mean, like, look, here's the thing, Oliver, you say that. That mustache screams really angry PE teacher. Like, you can't, you can't, what are you doing? You throw the ball like this, you gotta throw it. You gotta put your body into it. You gotta put your body into it. I have been informed in the chat from Core of Apple that the twisty turny things are called filigree. So this glass has filigree on it. I was today years old when I finally found out what the hell that shit was called, because I have been calling it twisty turny frilly shit for about 28 years.
No, for me, like, I would. I'm not opposed to jumping back into Knockout City. I had a really, really, really fun time that during the free week that it was available. Really enjoyed it, but also it was one of those games that as soon as I put it down, I didn't think of again. And the fact that it's still sort of, I don't know. I still hear some people talking about it. It's obvious, like it's honeymoon period is over for it a little bit, but the fact that there is still a community out there willing to throw dodgeballs at each other, like I could see myself getting back into it. So it's good to know that it's still sort of going.
Yeah. And you
I
get
would.
the first 25 weeks or 25 levels free still. So,
Oh, on
Oh,
the
sweet! I didn't know
nice.
that.
yep.
And so for me, I view Dodgeball City in the same way that I view Fall Guys. I am never like, oh man, I need to play Fall Guys. But if somebody's like, hey, we're playing Fall Guys, you want to jump in? Oh yeah, sure, I'll hop in and I'll, fuck about. Now, like, if you try to be like, hey, we're playing Among Us, do you want to hop in? Fuck no. No. That's a totally different, like, no. That game, I'm done, I'm dead. It's right in there with Fortnite with me, where it's like I would rather stub each of my toes on the corner of my couch than boot up Fortnite or Among Us again.
You know what you can replace that with? First class trouble.
First class trouble. Now, is that the
Mhm.
same shit just with a Gmod looking skin over the top?
Kind of, sort of, but it is more fun. It is way
Okay.
more fun.
All right.
See, I've still only ever played Among Us. I've only ever played I think 2 or 3 games of Among Us, and it was another one I really enjoyed when I played it. And then as soon as I turned off the PC that night, I went, okay, well, I'm done with that. And I like those sort of games, but they never ever stick with me. I think the only one that has sort of stuck with me, that kind of almost like live servicey team game sort of thing, was Rocket League. And even then, Rocket League kind of grabbed me for about 6 months or so, and then I
I mean,
never went back.
that's still a fair amount of time. That's still
Oh,
a fair amount of
absolutely,
time.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
loved my time with Rocket League, and I've always wanted a game to sort of scratch that itch, and I genuinely thought Knockout City was going to be it, when it first came out, because I was so dismissive of it, when the Nintendo Direct trailer came out. I think that was the first time it was seen, or one of those events a few months ago.
I feel like it was. I feel like it was
Yeah,
something like that.
and I saw it and I was like, this I'm not into it. It didn't look good to me. But then when it came out and trying it, and instantly within the first game, it just felt cool. It was just
Yeah.
I'm into this. It was one of those games that was so easy to pick up, and I imagine so difficult to master.
Mhm.
And I would love to have a game like another Rocket League kind of come in and steal the show a little bit. And I think games have tried. I mean, there was what was it called? That Destruction All Stars earlier this year. That was
Yeah.
Twisted Metal, but for kids.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was just dead on arrival. It was, and same with what was the one they did in VR a couple years ago? And I was so excited. Rigs. I was so excited to play Rigs, and then I didn't get my PSVR on day one. I got it about 6 months later.
I know it.
And the
Yeah.
servers were already turned off, and I was like, oh shit!
Yeah, I
so
think I
excited.
remember Rigs because that was when you literally just jumped truck to truck. God, I remember seeing people play that, and I was like, that looks cool, but it looked cool in the same way that what was the game that Jacksepticeye used to play, Happy Wheels was, where it was that looks
Yeah.
kind of fun and goofy, but I'm not gonna put any amount of time into this. I enjoy watching somebody play it, but me play it, not a chance. No, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Avenged, I kind of just have a general question about your Sims
Mhm.
addiction. I mean, sorry, love of Sims. Let me say that properly. Where did this start? Where did you
Ooh.
when did you fall in love with Sims or The
Ooh.
Sims?
I was a small child. I got
She was just
the
a wee
first Sims.
lass.
Yeah, just a wee lass. It was fine. Got the Sims, original Sims on PlayStation and
Wow.
just kind
Okay.
of never put it down. Got that, then went on to The Sims 2, and then once I hit high school, I got a school laptop, and yeah, that was a time because me and my friends were into it, and so if one person had an expansion, we trade it off, install it onto our computer, give it back, and just pass them all along each year. It was a time.
That
That's because I Sims wasn't those kind of creation games sort of thing. I always dig them for a little while and then fall off them very quickly and get very, very stressed out with them. But
Yeah.
I like Sims on PlayStation for me, like, because yeah, I had it on PS2, and like, because I think I don't like. Am I right in thinking that The Sims, when it came out on PlayStation, was around the same time that The Sims 2 came out on PC? I think. Like, I think it was sort of like an upgraded version, like, but was just
Yeah.
called The Sims. But I remember, like, I used to like, because I would have been maybe 13 at the time, and like sleepovers that I had, like me and my friend Sam would like, we would do a split screen game of The Sims on PS2. We would create a house for like an hour or so, and then the challenge would be who can kill the other guy quicker, but you're not allowed any direct contact with the other person, so you just had to like it was sort of, you were doing stuff that was gonna make the other guy accidentally start a fire and like, or like trap himself somewhere. And it
Yes.
was that they were so much fun, like, to play like that, like and I like, that's another game I would dig playing The Sims again now, but I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start now, like
The bad thing is, I think I own The Sims right now because I'm
Hmm.
fairly certain Avenged and Lady Macbeth talked me into buying it, and then I was like, fine, it's like $4 on Steam right now, and then I was told to get a certain expansion. I was like, cool, and I have yet to
Hmm.
boot it up. It's sitting. I think I actually have it downloaded. It's just sitting
Oh
there, and
man.
I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to boot this up at all. Because either one or two things are going to happen. Either A, I'm going to start streaming it, and everybody who is a big Sims fan is going to come in, see me playing, and be like, what are you doing? Or two, I'm just going to talk so much shit on it while I'm doing it that Avenge is no longer going to want to mod. She's just going to, like, she's going
Mhm.
to spend all 85 of those swords and lodge them into my back and chest like E2 Avenged. Like, that's going to be me. E2 Avenged as I collapse, except there's not going to be a bunch of other people. It's just going to be her with all of her swords,
Mhm. Mhm.
which we
Pretty
are going to
much.
get to. We are going to get to all however many goddamn swords you have. But
enough.
Oliver, what are you playing?
So the only thing I've sort of been playing recently is the Final Fantasy VII remake, which I've already played twice before. I played it like both times on PS4. You had to complete it twice to get the platinum, and you better believe I got the platinum in Final Fantasy VII remake. It's a near perfect game. But the PS5 update like came out recently, and typically you can sync your save data up with the PS4 version, and you'll instantly pop the platinum. My hard drive on my PS4 died back in September, October of last year, and I lost everything that was on my hard drive, everything that was on my account. And so I've needed, like, I booted up Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS5. If I want that platinum again, and I do, I need to do it all again. And I am happy to do that because
And I
that game,
will.
and I will. I mean, that game is incredible. It's such a good game. It's such a good reimagining of what made Final Fantasy VII the original special. It's lightning in a jar. That game. It should not be as good as it is, and I'm having a hell of a time. I'm around about a third of the way through it now. Like and like the PS5 enhancements to it, like the it graphically it is stunning. Like they in the PS4 version, there was a lot of like graphical stuff that was a bit questionable. Like there was like some like backgrounds or textures that were very JPEGy. Like they didn't look great. But now everything looks stunning in it. It's just such.
How far are you in it right now?
um So I am just about to fight Airbuster, which is in the original Final Fantasy VII is the second boss, which is like shows how quickly like he kind of goes through the original version of it. But like I think it's chapter 7 or 8 I'm on, I want to say.
Okay. So have you
So
already gone seen the who's the creepy guy? The Duke?
Don Corneo. No,
Don
not seen Don
Corneo.
Corneo yet. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me know how the was it the honeybee hive scene or
Honeybee
whatever,
in, the
the
Honeybee in,
honeybee, and yeah, let me know how that is with the new
in
updated graphics
4K.
in
I can't
4K,
wait. I
Cloud with his pristine skin and dancing around, which once again,
and
what?
honestly, that's one of my favorite things about the remake is the whole Honeybee Inn scene. Like, because if you've played the original Final Fantasy VII, the Honeybee Inn scene is very, very homophobic. It
Yeah.
is packed to the brim of like just the worst gay panic of the 90s. Of like, it's kind of gross to go back to it now and play through it. And the remake, that entire scene, like, because when they said, "Oh yeah, we're keeping that scene in," I was like, "Hell yeah, that's an awesome scene." Oh shit, they better change
Oh wait,
everything. Like, and they
it
did, and it's sort of like this, I don't know, like trans inclusive, like celebration of pride and being, and it's gloriously gay. It's so
I
good.
was half because I didn't know anything about it going into it,
Mm.
but I was fully expecting them to go like full drag queen with it, which isn't a knock at it at all. But at the same time, it was just like because I've seen like the RuPaul Drag Race thing, and like I've seen the TikToks of like if you see something, squint. It's like tip these da da tip these bitches, and it's just like god damn, and it's funny, and it's like one of those things they just kind of run with it, and the same thing go. I was expecting something like that. Nope, it was like yep, Cloud in dress
Yeah,
and looks convincing
it's
enough as a female to convince the bad guy to pick him over the other two females who in and of themselves are both bombshells. What the hell?
it's so well done. It's so well done. And as well, one of the things I had totally forgotten about like the remake is like really screaming at me this time. This game is the horniest fucking game ever. Like every character in this game just wants to get down. Like every single one is like I think the kids are saying horny on main, and my god they are. Like
Yeah, like that game. I've made the joke about 1,000 times. The amount of people that want to bang Cloud in that game. I think there are maybe three people in that entire Final Fantasy universe that don't want to bang Cloud. One is Barrett, um, and then the other two I'm pretty sure are like animals, and like that's about it. Because like Tifa, Aerith, Jesse, I'm pretty sure Wedge, and I'm pretty sure I'm blanking on Charlie Sheen's
Biggs.
character.
Biggs. Biggs.
Wait, is Biggs Charlie Sheen?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Biggs is Charlie Sheen and Wedge is
Yeah. I love how
Badger from
Wedge is
Breaking
like,
Bad.
what do you mean Charlie Sheen? If you look at young Charlie Sheen and Biggs, that is 100%. Like, you look at Charlie Sheen in, I'm blanking on the war movie he was in. Might have been Platoon, but I feel like I'm wrong. He
He was
has
in
like
Platoon.
he wears like a bandana, and it's straight up and down Biggs. And it is like, and it's just like, god damn. It might not be Platoon's the movie I'm thinking of, but it's definitely like young Charlie Sheen with a bandana on. And it's just straight up that. And it's just so many people. Yeah, see? And that's why I was like, why we got young Charlie Sheen here? And fucking, I could use another slice of pizza right now. Fucking wedge his ass in there. But I digress. There's a lot of people that need to go to horny jail in the Final Fantasy VII remake. Now, have you played the DLC yet, or are you just planning to play?
No, that's like because so basically I did want to jump straight into the DLC, but then had a look online and they like was very much like, hey, if you've forgotten how to play this game, if you've forgotten how to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe don't jump straight into DLC because the DLC is apparently I've heard it's quite hard. I've heard it's like it's quite you need to be like right on the ball like to get through the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, look, maybe I'll play the first couple of chapters and get myself like re into it. But then it was sort of like, I mean, what that came out about a month ago now, and I've avoided spoilers this long, so it's kind of like I am more than happy now to.
See, here's the thing, right? It's like I've avoided spoilers. for a game that is based on a game that came out in the 90s. However,
Yeah,
I understand that she was never in Midgar.
she was never in. She's never in Midgar. You don't find her until after Midgar. She's as well in the.
She's in the bad people. The bad people. Wu-Tai. There, Jesus.
Wu-Tai. But then
I'm a Final Fantasy fan. No, I'm not.
Because Wu-Tai in the original, like Yuffie in the original, or Yuffie, I think is the actual.
Yuffie, I think, yeah.
But it was Yuffie to me as a kid, so it's Yuffie forever. But like Yuffie, like she's an optional character in the original game. Like you can complete the game without ever seeing her. And you find her like initially, like if you do go on the quest to like find her and get her in your team, that's situated like just outside Midgar. What's really cool is that like the whole Wu-Tai stuff, like Wu-Tai is a town in Final Fantasy VII original, but it's that's a hell of a cat, Avenged. That is a hell of a cat.
That cat was just like, "Hello, I'm here. All right, I will leave now."
Yeah.
The whole Wu-Tai stuff is again, it's a total optional side quest. You can complete Final Fantasy VII without ever going to Wu-Tai. So the fact that they've made the whole like Yuffie and Wu-Tai stuff so central to the plot, it's like they are doing something different with it, and that's one of the things I've really loved about Final Fantasy VII Remake is that they've not been afraid to change stuff or do some stuff a little differently.
Yeah, because that was like the whole thing with like the, I guess, spoilers for the remake. The whole with like the ghost or the phantoms or whatever the hell they were called. Like, they only showed up when the timeline was getting fucked with. Or, like, when things in the timeline weren't what they were supposed to. So, like, that's why Wedge, they show up and they, like, bully Wedge, essentially. Which I think they kill him?
No, I think...
Like, you don't see him die, but they also make it seem like they kill him.
Well, in the original, again, spoilers for Final Fantasy VII, the original.
Yeah.
Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse all die when the plate falls, like the second floor plate falls. They don't do that necessarily in the remake. My memory's a little hazy on it, but I know they kill off Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse and Biggs die with the plate, and Biggs Wedge lives. Sorry, I keep thinking Wedge is Biggs because in my brain that makes sense. But Wedge is Wedge like gets people clear. Like he essentially like finally nuts up, pushes one of the Shinra guards out of the way to a gate, and then like starts shuttling people away from the plate to get him out of there. Meanwhile, you got the Turks in a helicopter just shooting indiscriminately at the thing. And I'm like, cool. What is happening here? Like, what is going on? And then why on the ground are we not just shooting rockets or something up at him? Barrett, you mean talking about that big gun? You can't hit the SOB from here? You're like, it's a gun. Shoot from the ground. Why do we gotta climb all the way up for you to shoot at him?
I know I'm not alone when I say, like, as far as Final Fantasy VII Original is concerned, the Turks are some of my favorite characters in that game. And some of the stuff they kind of get up to post the Midgar in the original is so much fun and so good. And I cannot wait to see what they do with those guys in like, you know, whatever's next for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 or whatever dumb name they give it. Like
there is a
intergrade.
There is a individual who I play D&D with occasionally. I will not name that person. I will not even give gender to that person. However, that person simps real fucking hard for old boy Reno. Goddamn shock stick. I think it's a shock baton. But like shock baton, red hair, like fucking just open shirt ginger walking around. They simp real hard.
I was gonna say, Paul, you are literally a shock baton away from being, you know, a Reno cosplay.
Let's I'm just picturing Reno from memory. Black suit jacket, white shirt, open, shock baton, and my hair just needs to be a bit spikier and a bit more anime. And then I just need to act like I don't care.
You're in. You're in. There's some closet cosplay for you right there.
There we go. Easy, because I think
I'll be
I mean,
waiting for that stream.
I mean, honestly, depending on how September goes, we might have a lot of weird streams. Maybe that's what. Okay, so here's what we'll do, because I think I've got it up to. I think I've got round. I've got a couple milestones, but like we'll put one of the back further milestones. Final Fantasy VII, Reno cosplay stream, and then even further back we'll put Fortnite, like an 8-hour Fortnite stream. Because like I said, I'd rather like stub all of my toes, all 5 of my toes of my right foot on my couch and boot up Fortnite. However, if we raise money, if it's for charity and we hit a certain goal, once again, that changes things. I would never subject myself to hot sauce. For somebody to try to pay, I'll give you $20 to drink this hot sauce. No, I'll donate $20 to charity. Fuck. All right.
Yep.
Like, you got me. You got me. Charity's the easiest way to get people to be like, I would never. What if it went to a good cause?
I've said it before, I'll say it again, my body is literally permanently scarred because of fucking charity. So
Yep. Oh, my body's going to be if we hit a certain goal. I'm straight up stealing some from yours. Like I'm gonna get a tattoo.
Nice.
But the tattoo I'm gonna have.
Tattoo.
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. See, here's the thing, right? I'm having it to where I'm gonna commission a few artists to do a few different ones, and I'm gonna have the community help me pick. The community is not picking it. The community is simply letting me know which one they like the most. Because I know for a fact there is a sword maiden who is currently on fire in Vegas who would submit just my emote of yabish. And y'all motherfuckers would vote that the highest and expect me to get yabish tattooed right on my chest. No.
I'd go for the yee one.
The yee yee would be great. Yee would be good. See, once again, even Brit, the newest mod I got, she's like, you just need to get the yabish one. God damn it.
Exactly.
See, and that's why I don't give you guys full power. I give you guys some power. I do not give you full power. Good Lord. No. I mean, I say that. If yabish is integrated into the tattoo, but I'm not just going to get yabish on my tata. So, you just been playing Final Fantasy VII? I realize we've been just, like, once again, we're just on games for an hour and a half.
Yeah, like I've not really touched anything else recently. Like the other thing that I put in the docket as far as like it's not something I've been playing, but it's kind of the thing that has been taking up my time entirely over the last couple of weeks is that ahead of the release of Black Widow, which me and C are watching tonight, and I'm very fucking excited for. Me and C have
rough. Do you have a rough ETA? Would you need to bounce?
We've got 1 hour. I've got 1 hour. I've got 1 hour.
So I got 1 hour. All right. So 58 minutes, sports fans. Start the counter. I want to just hear C's foot tapping, just off frame of her being like, you're about to be nostalgia on the single. Single on the rocks.
Ahead of watching Black Widow, me and C have watched every MCU film in timeline order this time. Not release order, we did timeline order. So we started with Captain America First Avenger, jumped into Captain Marvel, then the Iron Man films, and then the timeline gets all squiggly and oh boy, holy shit. This franchise is the best. Like it. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII Remake, like catching lightning in a jar, somehow Kevin Feige has caught lightning in a jar 24 fucking times. It is insane.
The fact that the Avengers, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, first off exists. First off works. I said first off twice. First off, works. Second off, surely exists. And third, stuck the landing with Endgame. They could have stopped. It could have been like, done, right? But then you have Disney Plus shows. WandaVision, and Captain America Winter Soldier, aka Falcon Winter Soldier, were fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Each in their own right. Like, WandaVision was just weird because it was different. Captain America Winter Soldier was great because it felt like a 6 or however 8 hour long movie where we really got to deep dive into some of that stuff. And now we have fucking Loki, which we're not talking about at all, period dot. Just because that show was good and it's got one more episode left, and I refuse to be that guy to spoil shit. I refuse.
But it's so good. It's so weird.
It's good because the first episode they streamline it and they get us to the Loki we want. They don't give us the Loki. Relative spoilers for the first episode, which was they essentially took Avengers Loki and like got him up to speed to Ragnarok Loki or Infinity War Loki in like a 5-minute window. And it was like, done. Good. Got it. Moving on. And like the amount of shit they're doing in it, and even the latest episode, like it's like, it's good. The fact that there's one more makes me happy and pissed off at the same time. Because I just want to keep watching, and I just want more. And I just want Owen Wilson to say wow one time. Just either him or Tom. I want Tom to say it in front of Owen Wilson, but do it as like wow. Like him to do the Owen Wilson impersonation in front of Owen Wilson, in front of Mobius. In front of Mobius. I want Loki to say wow in front of Mobius, but like Owen Wilson. Just so Owen Wilson can look at him and be like, wow, why do you say it like that? Like, just to get that joke out there and be done with it, because god damn it was that. I want it,
like,
right?
Just like, because as well, one of the fun things, like I love a list. I love a ranked list of things. See, not a fan. But I've managed to convince her that we are, like, the whole time we've been doing it, we've been ranking 3 things. We've been ranking the Stan Lee cameos of every MCU film. We've been ranking the baddies of every MCU film, and we've been ranking the films themselves. And they're just so good. There is even even the bad ones. And I say that with inverted commas, the bad ones, which I would say are, for me, it's Thor, Dark World, and Incredible Hulk, and maybe the first Ant-Man film. Those are the ones that I'm like, I don't know if I would rewatch these. Ant-Man was fine. Ant-Man was fine.
Okay, but like, okay, I'll give it to you. It's fine, but like, and even Thor: The Dark World, I say is fine. It has a lot of dumb shit in it, and the elves I hate. But like, they set up. I like the Loki and the Thor. I like everything on Asgard that's not stupid, weird medical magic nonsense. I like that part of it.
But because that's what I was going to say. Like, what's so good about the MCU is that even there's a ring at our door. Even the less good films in the MCU are made better by everything that comes after them. So, like, the Dark World, like, there's a bunch of scenes in the Dark World that are done again in Endgame. On the time travel stuff, and it makes the Dark World a better film because of it. Same with one of the big example for me is First Avenger, Captain America: The First Avenger, which when I first watched it, I liked it, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now the First Avenger is brilliant for me. It's so good because of the themes that start in the first Avenger that then get picked up in Winter Soldier and Civil War and the Avengers and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and so many films are tied in so well to the first Avenger that it becomes a better movie because of the context you have that comes after it. It's like the fact that the MCU works it's incredible, because I remember when Infinity War came out and there was like a lot of chatter that, hey, this is our generation's Empire Strikes Back. But it wasn't just our Empire Strikes Back, because it was, imagine imagine if when Empire Strikes Back came out, there were 21 films before it leading up to that moment. And that it is like the fact, and you're right, Paul. The fact that they stuck the landing, the fact that Endgame was not only good but brilliant. And there have been like so many times like over the last few years. Like I've been a fan of the MCU since Iron Man. I went to see Iron Man in the cinema on my own because my girlfriend at the time worked next door to the cinema and she had like a 4-hour shift, and I was like, I ain't really got anything to do. Oh shit, Iron Man's playing. So I went and watched it on my own and loved it. And like, so I've been a fan since like day one. And like, there's been so many times when a film's coming out and I've gone, this is the one that's not going to be very good. I had that fault with Avengers. I had that fault with Age of Ultron. I had that fault with Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Infinity War, Civil War, all of them. I was like, this is going to be the one that probably tips it over the edge and isn't as good as the rest of them and kind of ruins it. And they're not. And I had that thought again earlier this year with the Disney Plus shows. I thought, WandaVision, a 9-episode run of like starring Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Especially when the first, like, they let, the first 3 episodes out at one time, or was it the first 2 episodes?
No, first two.
Yeah, first 2, because those were the ones that were in, like, the I Love Lucy kind of style, that black and white. And it's just, like, you hear it and you're like, okay, well, that's kind of a fun little premise. And then you watch it and you're like, holy shit, is this show good? Am I enjoying a show starring a fucking robot and a magic lady who no longer has her accent? Which I appreciate the fact that she doesn't have the accent. I love how in that show they call out that. Why don't you have your accent? You're like, da-da-da-da-da. Where's your accent? We don't talk about that, all right? I got tired of trying to do a bad Eastern European accent. Oh
yeah, they're just such good films, and watching Black Widow this evening, and like, because it's like now I'm at the point where if 3 years ago Black Widow was coming out, I'd go, oh, this is gonna be the one that's not very good. Now I'm like, I'm gonna love this film. Like, my expectations are gonna be, it's gonna be like middle of the pack for me as far as like my rankings go. And don't worry, I will be publishing my rankings very shortly.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be middle of the pack. I think it's gonna be a pretty good film, but I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be fun, and like, that's what the MCU is. It's just so much fun.
Honestly, I wish it had come out prior to Infinity War and all that. For the simple reason that this, I believed, I don't know where it fits timeline wise. I don't want to know where it fits timeline wise yet. I want to watch it, but it's one of those movies that like I kind of wish it had come out a little earlier, even if it is like a prequel and it's it takes place in between this and this and da 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 da. Cool, but like having her last movie be Endgame, and like that is the lasting impact that she has, is like, fuck yeah, awesome. But now that we have the movie, and it's like, okay, are they now going to try to shoehorn her in? Are they going to introduce the blonde Black Widow, which is a thing in the comics? There's like another Black Widow, but she's a blonde, not like Natasha Romanoff, but like another lady altogether. Are they gonna like try to kind of backdoor her into the world now, into continuity, to where it's like, okay, now we have another secret super spy lady who we can now do stuff? I don't know. But I'd be interested to see what happens.
I have theories. I have theories as to why this is placed where it is, and it's like, I don't want to go into them until after I've seen it.
I was gonna say we're burning the time now. We're an hour in.
Yeah. Okay. MCU good. That's
MCU real good. Real good. Nostalgia on the Rocks approved. Put a stamp on.
Oh, finally, they've been waiting for that. Kevin Feige has been waiting.
Feige's like, two random jabronis on the internet gave us the thumbs up. Hell yeah.
I can rest now.
Time to pack it in. We're good.
Time to pack it. Paul and Oliver think I've done some pretty good work. I can retire at last. Kevin, you're welcome.
You're welcome, Kevin. Enjoy that retirement. Okay. Oh shit! I haven't even talked about what I've been playing.
Yeah, Paul. How's Scarlet Nexus?
So
Yeah, how's that playable anime?
Scarlet Nexus is by far better than I ever was going to give that game credit for. And I'm not going to lie to you. I walked into that game kind of assuming it was going to be okay. I was like, all right, it's getting a bit of hype from Xbox. They're kind of pushing this game almost like they were trying to push it like it was a first-party game, but it is not a first-party game. It's all over the place. I just remember seeing it a lot. I remember seeing it in the Xbox conference, so I assumed it was tied in with Xbox. But I picked that game up. Wasn't on Game Pass, which is like the first goddamn game I bought for Xbox that wasn't on Game Pass in fucking forever, which tells you a lot about what Game Pass can offer. But I digress. The fact that that game does a lot of things well. I'm not going to say perfectly. I'm not going to say it does things phenomenally. Like, it's not a 10 out of 10 in every aspect. But the visuals of that game look phenomenal. Like, the fact that I can stop when I'm walking around the main city and look up. And you see, like, the headquarters to, like, the CFO, I want to say it is. Or, like, essentially, like, the super soldiers of the world. And it's just, like, this big Eiffel Tower-looking place that, like, you can't even see the top of. And the fact that, like, as you're walking through, they have, like, these little, like, holographic billboards that, like, kind of pop into frame as you move into them. And they, like, disappear behind you. And when you go from, like, that city landscape to then you go to, at one point you end up on this, like, snowy mountain. And then there's, like, this sheer cliff face. And you see, like, some northern lights looking stuff. And then you just see out over this landscape. And I'm like, fuck, this game looks good. Like, it just looks, even just running around in the game looks phenomenal. And then you get into the cutscenes, and the cutscenes look great. And then they do something with the back and forth with the dialogue that I actually kind of like. I didn't think I would, but I like it a little. I like it because I know Persona 5 and probably a handful of other JRPGs have done that I just don't know about. But it's like, the fact that they kind of have the characters, like, they'll kind of pop back and forth a little bit in the background, but really what they do is they just take, hey, here's an image of this person, here's an image of this person, and then they just kind of, like, bring it forward as they're talking, bring the other one forward as they're talking, as a way of just doing that instead of having to sit there and try to animate these people talking to each other. Because how many cutscenes have we watched in different games where the people are talking and there'll be a glitch or there'll be a bug, and, like, Commander Shepard's eyes just go wide as they're talking to you? I don't see a problem here. What is happening to the ship? Everything's fine. They're just moving without needing to move, or they're just like, yes, let's walk this way. Without actually turning their bodies, they're just like T-pose moving. The fact that in this they just do it that way, and it saves them I imagine it saves them a hell of a lot of time with animating and coding and all this other stuff. And so, and the dialogue is just cheesy, dumb anime bullshit. Like, I said it once and I'd say it again. I wish I had a bingo card of anime tropes built prior to starting this gameplay. I might start one with Kasumi's, which is the other playable character, because you have, like, two protagonists, and it's not like a Assassin's Creed Odyssey where it's like, or the Assassin's Creed games recently where it's like, all right, well, you could pick the female, it's gonna play the same, it's just now you're a female. It's like a completely different story that, like, intersects with the male character, because I've been playing the male character and I kind of intersect with the female character storyline, but she's off doing her own shit. She has her own team that have their own powers, and you have your own team with their own powers. And so, like, as you kind of move throughout the game, you kind of bump into each other, and you have these little interactions and little fights here and there, and it's just fun. It's dumb. A lot of the things are ridiculous. Like, of course, there's just, like, random things that are like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Wait, who are you? Like, just super big anime entrance of somebody, and I'm like, okay, should I? I met you 5 seconds ago. I assume I guess you're God. I don't. Sure, why not? And it's just like you're sitting there, and there's been times where they're like, oh my gosh. There's one guy. One guy. This is my last little like random tangent thing. There's a guy who is your like man in the chair. He handles all your stuff. He also has telekinesis. So he can talk to you, like just mind link you, but he uses the radio. So that way, they explain in the game, so that way when if your radios fuck up, he can just talk to you in your brain. However, you can't talk back to him. At one point, your radio stops working. He talks to you through your brain. And you're like, but wait, what do you mean? Hey, I don't know if you're trying to respond to me. I can talk to you, can't talk to me. So, yeah, just keep going, and then I'll kind of direct you as best I can. Wait! Where are we supposed to go? And I'm like, bro, he can't hear you. He just said that he can't hear you. So why are you talking back? I'm like, just once again, if was a bingo card, this one would have been the free space. It would have been called Dense Protagonist. That's all it would have been. Dense male protagonist. And that's all that would have been. It would have been like circled 8 times on the fucking screen. Because that's all it was. And then you have, you have the quiet character, the older character who, is out of touch with the youths. You have the childhood friend who's crushing on you hard, but you're too dense to understand that. It's just like all of these ridiculous tropes and all this ridiculous anime bullshit, as I call it, that is so goddamn fun in that game. And on top of that, the combat feels amazing. Like, jumping around and playing the combat, it reminds me a little bit of Devil May Cry, but not quite. In the same way that, like, the enemies remind me a lot of Devil May Cry, where it's just like, what the fuck are you? They just kind of take things and mash them together, and that's your enemy. There's, like, some big wheel thing that has, like, a shield thing on it. There's one thing that's like a flower vase with legs and a tail. It's like, sure, I guess. It's not quite like Bloodborne or Dark Souls theme where it's just like some poor creator, like, who hurt you? What dark recesses of your mind made this? But it's just like they just merged a bunch of random things together. They just like spun a wheel. It's like, okay, fire hydrant. All right, we got that. Spin the wheel. Dog legs. All right, spin the wheel. Scorpion tail. All right, cool. Make a monster. And here we go. Like, that's kind of what it seems like for some of these things.
That's honestly, I don't think I've even seen a trailer for this game.
I think you have. You just forgot it, because I definitely did. I was like, what the fuck is this game? I haven't heard anything about this. I watched the trailer. I was like, oh shit. No, I have seen a trailer. It was just one of those like, oh, it's a JRPG. All right, next trailer. Come on. Show me Halo. Show me Halo. Where's Halo? Like,
that's one of the things I've been like hearing a lot from people, is that combat is really, really good in this game. And it's like, and everything else is sort of fine to good, but the combat is really, really good.
The combat's good, and I will say the music is also solid. The music in that game is legitimately solid. Avenged, you've been there. Is the music? Am I lying?
The music is chef's kiss.
Yes, and so like it's just been fun, and like I've really been enjoying the game, and I'm almost done with Yamito, aka the male protagonist, aka Sword Boy, done with his playthrough. And I'm probably gonna run through it as the female character just to run through it, just to see what the fuck the differences are. But I'm really hoping there's like a new game plus. I'm really hoping for a new game plus. Just so that way I don't have to grind and like level up. And just so that way I can start off with all the cool abilities. I don't have to go through, like, either that or I'm turning tutorials fucking off. It's just fucking off. So normally
I was just gonna pull from the chat. Yeah. Oh, I think you were about to as well.
Yes, I was.
But yeah, like Alba raises a really good question, and like you said yourself, this is a game that's not available on Game Pass. That you put down your hard-earned cash on this game. Has it been worth the investment?
In my opinion, as a guy who has put ballpark 20 hours into the game, I will say yes. And I haven't even finished the game yet. For just the interactions with because you even with the combat being great and the music being awesome and the visuals being stunning and the anime tropes being what they are, you then also, if you liked Fire Emblems, like Fire Emblem what was the newest one? Three Houses, thank you. That's just the newest one, but like Fire Emblem's like companion system, where it's like you can give them gifts or you fight with them, and then that builds your bond with that person. You have those little interactions during these little like standby zones, which is kind of like just the break in between the story beats. So it's like you do a story beat, you go back to your hideout. In that hideout, then you get to do little bond missions, which are most of the time just like little cutscenes where like you and another character are going out someplace. Like maybe you go out to a restaurant, you guys are talking about stuff. And it's kind of where you just learn a little bit about your characters, the other characters on your squad, the background on them, this, that, and the other. And the more you kind of do, the more you work with them, the more bond missions you go on, the more you learn about them and kind of their history, what makes them tick, why they do stuff. And I'm really, really enjoying it because I do love the Fire Emblem kind of bond stuff where it's just like, yeah, you work with them enough, you fight with them, they then become your friends. And the more you fight with them, the better the bond is, the better they are in the combat around you. So like as your bond builds or as you go up in like bond levels, it's like, oh, I get to use their abilities. Their ability lasts longer when I borrow them. So like there's one girl, the quiet girl, when you're playing with a sword chick or with the sword guy, you get clairvoyance, which is like you can just see shit, right? So it's like you can see like when there's fog or people go invisible, you can just see shit. You can use her powers longer. You can also they also have like little special attacks where you can just like hit left bumper and like X for her. And she just pops up and she uses her weapon, which is a fucking gun. So she just pops up and pulls out this fucking pistol and then just shoots the bad guy right in their critical point. And it's just like pop, 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 done. And I'm like, yes. And then it's just like, and so like the more you build it, the better they do, the more abilities they get. And it's just, and you learn more about them. And it's just a really fun dynamic. And I really love that kind of stuff, especially because it then makes you want to use those characters that you're not necessarily a fan of. Like them as a character, you're like, like there's a character called Luca, who is a full-grown adult, but he looks like a child. Because in this game, when you become a super soldier, you take age suppressants, so that way you can like fight longer, blah blah blah, storyline wise, right? They make a very big deal in the beginning of the game that you can't judge people in the organization, in the super soldiers program, or in the fucking whatever, by their how old they look. You gotta judge them based off their rank. But like don't judge them based off how old they look. Because Luca is a like Centaurian, aka like fucking really high up level badass. But he looks like a fucking child wearing short shorts. He looks like a fucking Robin back in the 60s with no goddamn pants on. I'm like, I get it, you're a small child, but that doesn't mean you can't buy your own pants. Like, I get it, wear pants. And of course he swings this big fucking hammer. Like, he swings a big hammer as his weapon. Because that's funny. He teleports, he's a little guy, swings a big hammer. It's fucking ridiculous.
I really hate that you're talking my language with a lot of this, because
it's honestly, I've been playing it on stream. There's a couple VODs up right now. I recommend it. I recommend it personally. Like if you're on the fence about it, you're like, I don't know, that's fine. Give it a little bit. I'm sure it's gonna go on sale. Somebody's gonna have a sale, whether it be on Steam or what have you. If you can pick it up for $45, awesome. If you can get it from your local mom and grop game shops, by all means, if you can get it up used there, by all means, pick it up. I think it's worth playing. I enjoyed my time with it, and I've only done one storyline, and I'm not even fully finished with it yet. And that's mic drop. Pick it up. Yeah, I recommend that game. And if you play the game and you hate it, I'm sorry I led you astray.
Yeah, if I buy this game and I hate it, then I will be sending you the receipt.
Okay, and then I will send you. I I don't know. I don't know what else I do.
Receipt back.
I'll receipt back and with a stick of gum and saying chew on this. Like I'm not giving you. Oh, by the way, a few people commented on this shirt. I'm gonna do this before we move on to the next segment. This shirt is a Charmander shirt. I asked Avenged out of 3 different Pokemon which one she liked better, and she said Charmander. Here's the thing, right? Yep. I wasn't gonna get this shirt. I wasn't going to get these shirts because I also have 2 other ones of 2 different Pokemon. What Pokemon are they? I'm not going to say yet. I'm going to leave that as a mystery.
Pokemon?
That's exactly where I'm going with it, Oliver. That's exactly where I'm going. I love you that you know. And as long as Avenged doesn't spoil the other 2, because she knows what the other 2 are, because I asked her out of those 3. But I digress. I wasn't going to buy these shirts. I had no inkling to buy them. I saw them. They showed up on my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. Hawaiian shirts, Pokemon themed, whatever. Moving on. I got tagged and or DM'd the link to this store by 5 separate people. 5. So I was like, okay, I guess it's time that I guess I buy some. And then of course, if I'm gonna buy them, I'm not just buying one. We got to get a few other ones in here. So I picked 3 that spoke to me. Now, the reason this one spoke to me is because I don't have too many yellow Hawaiian shirts. Full disclosure. I picked Charmander because it was yellow, and I wanted a thing, and I didn't want Pikachu. I was like, Pikachu's a little overplayed. It's a little overplayed. Yeah, Albob is one of the 5. It was like Albob, Despawn. I think Robert Hywen sent me one as well, which once again gets screwed. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Core Apple's got the point. You got to order enough to get the free shipping. You know, you
got to make that shipping,
especially with the international shipping. You know, it's like it's you know, you got to get that international shipping. Now, sure, it all comes from China, but they deem the UK as international. I digress.
It is by far of all the Hawaiian shirts I have seen you wear, Paul, it is the ugliest, and I love it the most.
Here's the thing, right? There is nothing on this shirt that's the bad thing, though. There's nothing ugly in theory about this shirt. It's just you have Charmander, and like you subtract Charmander, this is a basic ass Hawaiian shirt with just it's yellow, it's got white, it's got like lighter yellow stuff in there that doesn't really get picked up on camera much. But you just start slapping fucking the same image of Charmander just rotated slightly all over it, and all of a sudden you got a shirt that people are gonna pay way too much for. And on the other 2 shirts, which I kind of want to just display, where are they? Where'd I put those? Oh, I don't. They're on the. They're just behind the chair armchair. I'll do that after the podcast. I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we've talked about what we've been playing, we're on to the topic of today's show. And the topic of today's show is managing a Twitch community. Which really isn't a question, but I guess the question phrasing would be, how the hell do you manage a Twitch community? Because fucking hell. Do all 3 of us have, in our own ways, experience with this? Between our own channels, modding in other people's channels. So I'm going to start off with Avenge here, because you're the one who I just want to hear the most from on this, right? Mm-hmm. How many fucking swords do you have right now? Mod swords on Twitch. Let me be very clear for the sports fans listening and watching at home.
I have a total of 74 swords.
74! Oh, my foot. I fucking hurt my foot today at work. 74!
Yep.
You're modding 74 Twitch channels! Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know if I'm following 74 Twitch channels right now. And she is modding 74! Good lord! I'm gonna sit back here. I don't have my headphones on. Talk amongst yourself. Why and how did you get into this?
Oh man.
I'll say, like Avenged isn't fucking sleeping on those 74 channels. Avenged is putting in work on those 74 channels. I'm lucky enough to have Avenged as a mod for twitch.tv/ProbablyOliver. Cheap plug. And
I mean, why not? You're one of the hosts. I'm just gonna sit back here. Maybe this is where I host the podcast. I just sit
There you
back
go.
here. You see the
Perfect.
shorts, like you just see it. Hello, welcome to the show.
But no, Avenged has been an incredible mod for me. I know she's an incredible mod for like everyone else. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there is the meme to it, like how many swords can I collect? But Avenged putting in fucking work, like no, like how do you do it? How do you manage to kind of like how do you do it? How do you do it? Like I can
74. I can
74.
barely manage my own fucking channel, let alone 74 others, because you stream yourself. I feel like I'm yelling, but I need the mic to pick it up.
Oh,
Like,
you were
you
fine.
stream yourself.
With a full-time
And
job.
then, so you have a full-time job,
Yeah.
you stream on your own channel, and then you moderate 74 others. How?
Easily, I don't sleep.
There it is. Remember how this is a callback to the beginning? Remember, it's like the grass is green, the grass is green, the sky is blue. Avenge is tired. Why? Because she can't sleep. Because she is becoming one with Twitch.
Yeah, I just am Twitch at this point. It's fine. I talked to Jeff. We worked out a deal. It's mine now, so it's fine. Yeah, trust me, I don't know how I do it. I like seeing everyone's content. I like hanging out with everyone in this crazy huge amazing community. So it's not really work for me. It's just hanging out with friends, helping out where I can, and doing what I can to help people grow.
So, how active would you say you are in all these channels? Because, like, as much as we're like 74, there's gotta be some that are on the fringes. Like, you can't, like, I don't, unless you have like 3 other computers that are constantly running to where you can have all these tabs open. You cannot possibly actively mod 74 channels, even if they're all in different time zones and everything else, or they're spread out, dispersed evenly between the time zones, and like streaming days and all this other shit. Like, even mathematically, if that is like set up perfectly, you cannot sit here and tell me that you're putting in the same amount of effort for every single channel.
Funny you should ask. I actually have 12 tabs open right now with other streams.
You know
as we
what? I
speak.
was wondering why every now and again your camera goes a little funky. I now know why. Because your computer is currently trying to process your image along with 12 other streams going right now.
12 other streams, OBS, got
Correct.
Discord open.
Now
It's
hold
fine.
on. Is this channel currently one of them?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
I was about to
definitely one of
say.
them.
I was like, oh yeah, totally. 13 streams currently at the time.
Yep.
So
No,
like,
I've had it open since the beginning. So
like, what caused this? Because obviously, like you said, you're currently like you're watching a bunch of them, you're in all of them, you're lurking at the very least. What started this? Like, when did your obsession? When did your Orange Lantern ring find you to collect all of these swords? For all the nerds out, for the non-nerds out there, the Orange Lantern ring is greed. Just so you non-nerds understand what I'm saying.
Before you answer Avenged, I've got to say, I love that Paul got up to do the bit of like jumping around the room and yelling, and then as part of the bit sat down in his comfy chair, and this was like part of the bit. Now dude's just fucking comfy. He's just like, I'm just chilling.
All right, full disclosure, I fucked up my foot at work. I fucked up my fucked up foot. I
no.
I have a broken foot, not a broken foot, but a foot that is damaged. I have a damaged foot, and I fucked up my damaged foot at work today. So like getting up and moving fucking hurts like a bitch. And so like me getting up and doing that bit immediately was like, I regret this. I regret this bit. And I sat down and I know I just need to move like 4 feet to get back in my proper chair. And I don't want to. I will move back eventually, but until I muster up, until this second screwball hits, I'm sitting here in my comfy chair.
Sounds perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
Hell of a bit. Hell of a bit.
So good.
Gotta commit. All right, so where did it start for you, Avenge? Where did it all start?
Well, I mean, just getting into streaming myself, I more wanted to learn the ins and outs of modding just to help my own channel. But just getting to know everyone and being able to like give tips, help out, and then people just at that point were like, "Hey, you want to mod for me?" Like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Um, once it got to about like 20 swords, I was like, "Okay. All right. We'll see how far we can take this. We'll just keep going." And then it got to the point of the obvious meme of the entire community of, you know what, we're gonna shoot for 69 swords and we'll just stop there.
As you
It'll be
do.
fine. It'll be good.
Now you're
Um
aiming for 420.
yeah. Yeah, sounds like a good next milestone.
She's gonna have as many sword. Okay, Avenged. How many followers do you have on your channel right now?
How many followers? I think
Yeah,
about
just off.
300 something.
So, are you gonna have more swords than followers at this point? Like, are you just aiming for that?
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, but
Cat butt
That
for
like,
everyone.
but yeah, I mean, like, it's because I mean, like Paul's right, Paul like joking around sort of thing. I barely mod my own community sort of thing. Like I think like without like because again, I mean the kind of mods I've got, like I think like there's sort of I've got like 4 like proper active mods, Avenged being one of them sort of thing. And without them, it'd be shit. Like it'd be like like things would fall apart very very quickly. Like and yeah, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that sort of stuff. Like it's awesome. Like it's really like I love that kind of there is a the sword maidens, of course, like the kind of
Mhm,
that kind of like
mhm.
modding team within a team sort of thing, out of the
God.
sword maidens, who has the most swords?
Oh, that would be me.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, you love to see it. But like between like between like you guys, like you do the work you do is so selfless and good and like and keeps so many of us actually fucking going. Like the amount of trolls that I have had come into my channel and you or Trix or Steph like to jump on them sort of thing like instantly is
Mhm.
like I like I mean don't get me wrong, like trolls and stuff don't fucking bother me in the slightest. Like I couldn't care less. But there are people who do get affected by stuff like that.
Yeah.
And without like a mod team like yourself, like Vegas, like Trix, like those kind of people who are so committed to the cause, yeah, things would fall apart very very quickly, like very quickly. What do you think about that, Grandma? Like in your chair back there.
All right. Well, see, when I started on Twitch, I didn't have no, but like on the real, like you. I mean, you bring it up great. Like you. I mean, you said it perfectly there. I'm gonna move up now, just because I will get too comfortable back there. See, this limp is not like for show or a bit. Like, no, I legitimately fucked up my foot. Um, don't say streaming's easy, children, or aircraft maintenance. Um, but like it is so nice to have. Because at the same time, I can mod my own channel. Sure. Somebody comes in when, you know, big follows. You want big fame? Hit bigfollow.gov. Like, of course you can hit that and you know, get 7 viruses along with 50 followers and 75 viewers for low price of $44.45 every month. I hope none of that is accurate. I really hope none of that's accurate. But like you, like I can take care of that stuff, but like when it is something that is so, there's something so nice about it, knowing that there's people that have your back. You know what I mean? Like as weird as that is to say, like knowing that there are people that are watching you that like your content and like you, that have your back in those scenarios where if somebody comes in, and I've had it where somebody came in and they're chatting and everything's fine, and they're like, "Hey man, no offense, but you look like you put on some weight there." It's like, "Thanks, buddy, appreciate that. I mean, have you tried not being such a fat ass?" And it's like, before I even have a chance to fully, like, before I even read the comment, somebody swoops in and is just like, "Bye-bye, so long." Like, you know, it's nice having that. It does something as a streamer, knowing that it's not you versus the internet. That there are people there who like your content and who are there and who enjoy what you do to the point where they're willing to help you along. And Avenged is one of those people. Aaron Guard, aka Charlie of the Angels, because you have the Angels that are the Sword Maidens, or the Sword Maidens and Angels are two different things.
We are the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, just
evolved into the Sword Maidens.
Okay, because that was the thing. It was always like you had Charlie and the Angels, and then there was the Sword Maidens. This is the problem with our goddamn community. We have 75 teams within teams, because it started as like the Carl Collective, and then it was the fucking NTO. And then within the NTO, we have like different little groups. And then like within the Carl Collective, we have different groups. And then you have like the Sword Maidens, and then the Angels, and then like the like this and this and that. And it's like, once again, it starts turning into a Scarlet Nexus situation where it's like, what is happening? Wait, you're who? What? Why do I care whose father you are? Oh, long lost brother? Cool, I guess.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where we're getting at right now. Like, whenever we eventually end up having some ridiculous NTO thing where we end up like, because I've kicked around with Oliver, or not Oliver, I just saw your face, with Robert Highwind, about doing like a wrestling-esque promo thing where we just have everybody in the NTO jump in and like just do some bullshit, and we make a dumb storyline and we just run it. Whether it be like an actual wrestling, where it be an actual wrestling game, it just needs to be a good game, which hopefully the new WWE is going to be a good game. If it's bad, it's probably not. Oliver's got that stink face. It's probably going to be bad, but we're hoping. We're really, really hoping. But it's like one of those things where we would love to see, just because the amount of like stables in the wrestling term, or just like different groups that are within the groups, is fucking absurd. And just to see the team ups of like Robert Highwind coming out with the Carl Collective. Oh wait, you switch over to the NTO. Oh wait, co-op comedy. Robert Highwind's a mad lad. What is happening? And now he's Mario Highwind. He's just like becomes Mankind at that point, or Mick Foley, where he comes out at Royal Rumble 4 separate times. Exactly. You come out as 4 separate characters. Like, what the fuck? And that is Robert Highwind. But like the fact that, the fact that you can like just be in that many different channels, and not just like in there, right? Not just like, all right, I'm gonna throw the lurk up and bounce, but like you're there. You do like chime in occasionally, like you might, move over to some other people, because once again you have 12 tabs open, so like obviously you're gonna be like bouncing from stream to stream. But like the fact that you're like, yeah, like you come in and you comment on something or something like that is astounding. And I don't know if you get enough credit for it, but like, god damn, do you need, like, eventually, when I get back stateside, I'm going to come visit you just for the simple fact to verify that you're real. Just so I can take a selfie with you and be like, she's real. She's not just a person in a computer. She's not some super AI. Like, what the fuck? And it's just like having you there. And Al Bob says it best. Peace of mind is huge when you're making content on the internet. And just having that support team behind you is so important. And the shit that you do, Vegas, Tricks, all the other mods out there who, you know, whether they're mods for me, for Oliver, for anybody, like, mod jobs typically are not thanked nearly enough, for the simple fact that, like, some people get really upset with mods where they're like, I was just making a joke, or like, oh, they're just swinging that ban hammer around all willy-nilly. It's like, well, if my mod banned you, they banned you for, like, there's a few different reasons, but typically it's because you were being a douchebag. I asked you to stop and you didn't. A meme, aka I told them to ban you, because there have been times where people come in and say some stupid shit. I'm like, team up, get him out of here, get him out of here. And then they're like, all right, cool, you got him, unban him. So. You know, you just come in there and you God, I want you to type him out. Yeah, there it is. Oh, you banned him. Wait, I don't know if don't. Now here's the question: does the ban fuck up his subs?
No.
Okay, because typically I tee him up. Like, just hit him with a T. I don't know if I got the sound set up on this board, but it was like the. Oh wait, no, I do. That's a technical foul.
From
8 Crazy Nights.
Watching on or listening
on YouTube
show
are not gonna know anything about this.
No.
Like, I just got banned from Paul's chat.
He put big follows. I think, did you spell out .com?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
.com.
That's how they get around it, doesn't it?
And Avenged is just like, ha! You're done. Oh, you want to make joke? Here's joke, your life. Ha! Like,
yep.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But, like, Avenged, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. From all the streamers who can't be here to thank you and who may not ever thank you. Thank you so very much for the stuff that you do, not just for my channel or Oliver's channel, but just the community at large, because you are one of those people that fucking, like, the amount of, like, affiliate spotlight, boom, on people, like, so it's not just like, oh, I mod for my friends. It's like, no, you're constantly bringing new people into the community. You're trying to actually get people to grow and to see other people's content, and that is refreshing, I will say. It is refreshing in an industry, heavy air quotes there, where a lot of people want to just, I won't lie, I've been tempted by the dark side to, like, no, this is my community, I shan't share them with you, because if I share them with you, they might like me more, my precious. Like, to have somebody come in and actively want to give to the community is rare, and I want to say thank you. And I'm going to stop before somebody starts cutting onions.
Avenged, I think you're all right.
You're tolerable.
And there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Tolerable Oliver. Tolerable Oliver.
No. Paul said everything. Like I you know, I echo everything Paul said. Like I do. Like I think, yeah. Like I was saying to Avenge, like, before the show, like, when we were just like hanging out, sort of thing. Just saying, like, I couldn't. Like, I don't have a single sword, and I wouldn't trust myself with a single sword, because I would end up just memeing and just being silly with it, sort of thing.
You would
Like,
be Vegas.
Yeah.
I'll say it right here.
Yeah.
Vegas is a fucking bully. She just comes in and bullies the streamer. We give her a sword or a diamond or whatever. We make her a VIP. Clip it out if you want to, sports fans. Vegas bullies streamers for fun. And I know she does it out of the kindness of her heart, but god damn it, Vegas. There's a time and a place. Clip it and ship it. I don't even give a damn, alright? But yeah, you, Oliver, I imagine you would be a lot like Vegas in that regard, where you would just be like, yeah, let's time her out real quick. God damn it, Raccoon. God damn it. But I think that does it. I think we hit a good stopping point.
Apologies for anyone watching this later. This might have been the most inside show we've done so
Might be
far.
the most. This is the most inside baseball one we've got, and also the one that we've got on the most tangents on, which is really shocking compared, especially based on who we've had on the show.
Yeah,
but
that's
honestly,
spectacular with Suburbanite Slob. Like,
God, we could have kept going.
Oh,
There's a few people that we need to bring back for part 2, and I really think that we're probably going to do that because we've talked about going week to week, which we do need to actually sit down and have a conversation about. Because like we can't go week to week with this. If we do go week to week with this, we are going to have a lot of repeats for the simple fact that there are a few people. Noah's one of them, Thrill House being one of them, Suburbanite Slob being one of them, where people like that we had to just cut off strictly because we were running out of time. And Thrill House and Norza we cut off strictly because we didn't know what the show was going to be.
Norza and Frill we did dirty, and we need to get Norza and Frill back for
yeah, because Norza I viewed it as an interview of him, and then immediately after that show we were like, let's not interview the guest, let's have something the guest can talk about that we can talk about, that way it's more of a conversation, less of a 2v1 interview. And I think in my opinion as one of the hosts, I think it did well. However, I will leave it up to you, ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans around the world, whether or not it was actually a good thing. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to bring this show to an end. And I want to thank Avenged for taking this half day and hanging out with us. Thank you so much, Avenged. Avenged, where can they find you?
You can find me literally at any social media platform under the name Avenged92x.
Avenged92x. Because she's extreme. Yeah, definitely check her out. Drop a follow on Twitter. Drop a follow on Twitch. Just do it. You will not be disappointed. And then, of course, my lovely co-host, Probably Oliver. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Sunday evening screaming at the television because it's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Are you doing a watch along?
No, I've just decided that's
Fair enough.
coming home.
I thought for sure you were just gonna like have the stream on you. You were gonna watch the game and you were just gonna do a watch along, like a live reactions to the game.
I can give a fuck about football. Like I just want that bank holiday, baby.
Yeah, but you do it for the views. You do it. Okay, Avenge, if you're gonna shout him out, you gotta shout yourself out.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay, fine. Don't shout yourself out. Don't do it. You can't ban me. This is my channel. Ha!
I could certainly try.
You can try, and then I will. I will buy. You're about to have 73 swords. I'll make you a VIP. You have most of the same powers. She's like, don't do it. I need those. I am deceased. You wound me. You would unfollow? Scoff.
I did do it for the meme the other day. I did follow back. It's okay.
Okay. But, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, you definitely need to check them out. And if you guys right now are watching live here on Twitch, please head over to the YouTube channel where if you missed any part of this, you can watch it right there. You can follow the link by hitting exclamation point YouTube or simply by clicking that link right there. We are currently on the run for 100 subs, so that way we can get a custom URL, so that way I can stop having to post that gobbledygook link in it. And we can just say youtube.com/FNHPaul. Ladies and gentlemen watching on YouTube, thank you so much for your time. Make sure you drop a comment, hit that like button, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And until next time, sports fans, have a good one. Stay safe. And thank you so much for your time. Cheers.